The Los Angeles Lakers traveled to the Chase Center in San Francisco on Saturday night and delivered a commanding performance, defeating the Golden State Warriors 129-101 to snap a frustrating 3-game losing streak that had been weighing heavily on the team since the All-Star break. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Coming into this game, the atmosphere around the Lakers was tense. They had dropped 3 straight contests, including 2 particularly painful losses that came down to the wire against teams dealing with their own injury problems. Those back-to-back close defeats made the result sting even more for a franchise with postseason ambitions. Head coach JJ Redick needed a response from his group, and on this Saturday night, the Lakers gave him exactly that, a complete dominant wire-to-wire victory that left absolutely no doubt from the opening tip. The tone was set almost immediately. Marcus Smart got things going by drilling a 3-pointer from the perimeter to open the scoring. LeBron James followed with a triple of his own, and Austin Reeves added an explosive driving layup to push the Lakers out to a commanding 10-2 lead before the Warriors had time to find their footing. Golden State looked completely flat in those early minutes, struggling to generate any offensive rhythm against a Lakers defense that was sharp, engaged, and executing the game plan from the jump. The advantage kept building. Luke Kennard connected from beyond the arc, then Reeves hit another 3-pointer, and James drained his second triple to push the Lakers into double-digit territory. When the first quarter buzzer sounded, Los Angeles led 33-20. It was a dominant opening period that announced clearly to everyone watching that this would not be another close, nail-biting affair for the purple and gold. Luka Doncic sat briefly at the start of the second quarter, but even without him on the floor, the Lakers continued to pour it on. The lead grew to 20 points before Doncic re-entered the game and immediately made his presence felt. He converted a smooth layup and then fired a pinpoint assist to James, who finished the play for an easy basket. Golden State managed to respond with a 13-2 scoring run that temporarily gave the game some life, but the Lakers steadied themselves and closed out the half strong, heading into the locker room with a comfortable 65-47 lead. The Warriors' brief surge never felt threatening, and Los Angeles remained in complete control throughout. The second half belonged to Doncic. He emerged from the break with something to prove. It happened to be his 27th birthday, and he was in no mood to let the moment pass quietly. In the opening minutes of the third quarter, he drained 4 consecutive 3-pointers, putting the game completely out of reach and electrifying his teammates on the bench. Each made shot seemed to deflate the Chase Center crowd a little more. Reeves added yet another triple to keep the momentum rolling, and Jake LaRavia showed off his athleticism by converting a crafty layup in transition that put the finishing touches on what was becoming a masterclass performance. The Lakers entered the fourth quarter holding a massive 99-72 lead. From there, it was simply about managing the victory responsibly. LaRavia connected from long range again in the fourth, and Kennard continued his excellent night off the bench. Once the margin climbed above 30 points, Redick made the sensible call to pull his starters and preserve their energy for Sunday night's back-to-back against the Sacramento Kings at home. Not a single Lakers player logged more than 30 minutes in the blowout, a rare luxury that spoke volumes about how thoroughly Los Angeles dominated every aspect of the contest. 5 Lakers finished the night in double figures. Doncic led all scorers with 26 points in a birthday performance he will not soon forget. James was efficient and controlled, contributing 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists in only 28 minutes before taking a well-earned rest in the fourth. Kennard was a standout off the bench, finishing with 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting, including 4 3-pointers, and posting a +14 rating in 27 minutes. Reeves and LaRavia also made meaningful contributions throughout the evening with energy, smart decision-making, and timely shot-making. As a team, the Lakers knocked down 19 3-pointers while shooting an impressive 46% from beyond the arc. Those numbers told the real story of the night. When this Lakers squad is making shots at that kind of volume and efficiency from long range, they become a completely different team, one capable of overwhelming opponents and turning games into runaway victories. Shot making from the perimeter has been one of the team's biggest concerns all season. Saturday offered a glimpse of what this roster looks like when that element clicks. The win provided a much-needed boost of energy and confidence heading into the final stretch of the regular season. Playoff seeding remains very much in play, and performances like this one are a reminder of just how dangerous the Lakers can be when their best players are healthy, engaged, and locked in from the start. The team returns home for a back-to-back starting Sunday against Sacramento, followed by New Orleans on Tuesday. The schedule stays tough, but the Lakers head home feeling good about themselves again. Beyond the box score and the dominant result, Saturday Saturday night's Lakers victory over the Golden State Warriors carried a deeply personal meaning for LeBron James. His daughter Juri was courtside at Chase Center in San Francisco. And according to James himself, her presence may have had everything to do with how the night went. James came out firing from the opening tip, making his first 4 three-pointer attempts in the first quarter alone, quickly putting a recent shooting slump in the past. By the final buzzer, he had delivered a sharp line of 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists, all in just 28 minutes before being rested for Sunday's back-to-back game. Numbers like those are impressive on their own, but for James, it was the energy Juri brought to the building that made the evening truly memorable and different from any other road game he has played. Before tip-off, Juri stole the show on the floor. She pulled off a trick shot that had everyone buzzing, and then, in a moment that quickly spread across social media, she threw an alley-oop pass to her father before the two ran through their well-rehearsed secret handshake together. The NBA shared the video, and it went viral almost immediately, giving fans a rare and warm glimpse into the personal world of one of the sport's all-time greats. After the Lakers sealed the win, James spoke openly about what the night meant to him. He revealed that this was the very first road trip of his entire NBA career, which now stretches over 2 decades, that Juri has attended as a genuine companion beyond special league events. Previous appearances at things like All-Star Weekend were different in nature. This was Juri actively choosing to enter her father's working world, to witness what he does for a living up close, and James made it abundantly clear that meant everything to him. First one. "She's my good luck charm," James told reporters after the game. He described how much time they had already spent together in San Francisco before tip-off, explaining how they visited Alcatraz, crossed the Golden Gate Bridge, and sat down for dinner together the evening before the game. By the time the ball was tipped Saturday night, the father-daughter duo had already built memories that had nothing to do with basketball, and that clearly put James in a relaxed, confident, and energized headspace from minute one. He expanded further, speaking candidly about the real costs that come with life at the top of professional sports. James acknowledged openly that the demands of his career pull him away from his family more than he would like, and that any chance he gets to spend genuine time with his children, whether 1, 2, or all 3 together, carries enormous weight for him at this stage of his life. "I miss a lot of moments spending time with my kids because of my career," he said. "Anytime I get those moments, it's always special for me. To have my daughter want to come on the road and be with me was pretty cool. It was awesome." The sincerity was impossible to miss. James is no longer the young player racing toward his first championship. He is a veteran who has accomplished almost everything the sport has to offer, and what matters most to him now extends far beyond wins and losses. Having Juri there, watching him compete at this level, clearly brought something extra out of his performance in a game the Lakers desperately needed. James also set the record straight about his daughter's athletic future. Although Juri looked completely at ease on the hardwood, showing solid handles and what her father described as good form, she will not be following him into basketball. James explained with a smile that Juri is a volleyball player, and that his wife has made her position very clear. "My wife is done with this basketball thing," James said laughing. "She's a volleyball player, but she's been around the game for a while, so she does got good handles and good form. My wife ain't playing that. Not another one. She said that's it." It was a candid and funny moment that gave fans a real look at life inside the James household. The balancing act of being one of the greatest players in NBA history while also being a present, engaged father is no small feat. Saturday was a night where both sides of LeBron James were on full display. The competitor who sparked a wire-to-wire win with 4 first-quarter triples, and the devoted father who spent the day before the game exploring a city with his daughter and treasuring every moment. If Juri is truly the good luck charm, Lakers fans might want to start lobbying for her to join every road trip from now until the end of the season. What made the performance even more compelling was the context. The Lakers had dropped 3 consecutive games coming into Saturday's matchup, and pressure was building on the roster. James answered loudly and early, setting the tone with his shooting display in the first quarter and never letting the Warriors feel comfortable at any point in the game. His connection with Juri before tip-off seemed to give him an energy and a joy that translated directly onto the court. A reminder that great athletes often perform their very best when the people they love are watching from close range. For LeBron James on this particular Saturday night, everything came together exactly as it should. The Los Angeles Lakers made a calculated move before the trade deadline, sending Gabe Vincent and a 2032 second-round draft pick to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Luke Kennard. At the time, some fans questioned the deal, wondering whether giving up assets for an expiring contract was a worthwhile risk. After Saturday's blowout win over the Golden State Warriors, the answer came through loud and clear. Kennard was outstanding, and his performance offered a compelling preview of what he can mean to this team for the remainder of the season. Kennard finished the night with 16 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and 1 steal. He shot 6 of 10 from the field and made 4 of his 7 3-point attempts, finishing with a plus 14 rating in 27 minutes off the bench. It was the kind of performance that goes beyond raw numbers and speaks to impact. The way a player's presence on the floor opens up everything around him, changes defensive priorities, and forces opponents into impossible decisions. The Lakers have been near the bottom of the league all season in three-pointers made and attempted, ranking 23rd and 24th respectively. That lack of perimeter shooting has been one of the team's most glaring weaknesses, making life harder for Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves by allowing defenses to collapse freely without fear of being punished from range. Kennard changes that equation. When he is on the court and operating as a volume shooter, defenders cannot simply ignore him, and suddenly the driving lanes open up and the entire offensive system breathes differently. Saturday night was the clearest demonstration yet of that effect. The Lakers knocked down 19 three-pointers as a team and shot 46% from beyond the arc, numbers that were frankly hard to recognize as belonging to the same roster that has struggled so badly from long range for much of the year. The difference was Kennard occupying his role confidently and with authority. What makes Kennard particularly valuable is that he is not simply a spot-up shooter waiting in the corner. He has shown an impressive ability to attack closeouts, make quick decisions off the catch, and find teammates when defenses rotate toward him. The 6'5" wing has some of the most elite shooting credentials in the entire NBA. He holds the second best three-point percentage in league history. And the concern has never been about his ability to make shots. The concern has always been about volume. He averaged fewer than 2 3-point attempts per game across his first 7 games as a Laker. The Lakers need him to take 6 or more attempts per contest to truly move the needle. In 2024, Kennard did exactly that with his previous team, averaging around 6 3-point attempts per game and connecting at his typically elite rate. If he can replicate that volume in Los Angeles within the system that Doncic anchors, the ripple effect on the entire roster could be significant. Doncic commands so much defensive attention that shooters around him are frequently operating with wide open looks. Kennard standing in those spaces and pulling the trigger consistently makes the Lakers a dramatically more dangerous offensive outfit than they have been for most of the season. The trade was viewed skeptically by portions of the fan base who were still stinging from the situation with Dorian Finney-Smith, a player who came to Los Angeles and left without fully delivering on his potential before heading elsewhere in free agency. General manager Rob Pelinka took criticism for that sequence of events. Saturday's performance from Kennard offered at least one strong piece of evidence that Pelinka's latest move was a sound one, and that the front office correctly identified the roster's most pressing weakness and moved to address it. The question now is consistency. One great game is a promising sign, but it does not complete the case. Kennard needs to establish himself as a genuine threat on a nightly basis, making teams pay when they try to sell out against Doncic and the Lakers' primary playmakers. When the three ball is falling at this team's best, they look like a legitimate postseason force. When it is not, they are far too easy to defend and too inconsistent to trust against elite competition in the Western Conference. The Lakers have built their offensive identity around Doncic's ability to create and James's versatility. Adding a true floor-spacing shooter who can operate at volume and percentage fills the final major piece of that puzzle. Kennard showed on Saturday that he understands his role, embraces it, and is capable of executing at the level this roster needs. Now the challenge is doing it again, and again after that. If he does, the trade will look better with each passing game. Head coach J.J. Redick has emphasized all season that this team needs to shoot the ball better from the perimeter to compete with the best in the West. Saturday was the first real indication that help may have arrived in the form of a quietly skilled veteran who has been one of the league's elite shooters for years. If Kennard settles into this role and delivers volume alongside his efficiency, the Lakers' ceiling rises considerably heading into the postseason push, and the bold trade that raised eyebrows at the deadline will look very smart indeed.